I forget. You had the Modern Times glass, yeah?
I had beer week glass.
Yeah, here we go.
See, we're keeping the prettiest face off camera.
It's always a
Don't want to
great
overshadow
strategy.
Good thing you shaved today.
All right, so what's up? Here we are. This is our second beer in the second edition, Tuesday edition, I'm assuming it will be, of the Tuesday edition of the inaugural production of Craft Beer Budz. This is Matt. This is Mike. I'm Jay. We got cameraman Mike in the back and cousin Vinny over here in the corner. And basically, cameraman Mike and I are roommates. But the rest of these guys, I reached out to them on social media. We never met before. And I will reiterate one more time, but not to belabor the point. It's a sad statement that I couldn't get any of my own friends out here with free beer. But I thought this might make it a little bit more interesting to have complete strangers come in, drink some beer, talk about them, and just kind of give you their take on the beers. Yeah, why don't you go ahead, Matt, real quick and kind of recap your background and, blah, 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 all that good stuff.
Okay, I'm Matt. I'm a software engineer by trade, but I'm a beer nerd by hobby. I homebrew. I've been homebrewing for about 2 years now. Entered some beers in some competitions, things like that. And I just enjoy drinking craft beer and trying different beers.
And especially free beer, huh?
Yeah, free beer's the best.
And Mike, what's your story?
I am by no means a beer expert, but I love to drink beer, and this is a really fun time to be able to do this. And you cannot beat free beer.
Yeah. And having and I'm not a cicerone or anything like that. I just enjoy beer, so it's kind of cool in my mind. Hopefully, it is also out there to have Matt, who knows a bit about beer, who brews, and to have Mike, who is more of the casual drinker. Just to set the stage, they don't know what's in the glass. Of course, I do because I poured them. But we're trying to get kind of blind taste tests here so that maybe for the craft beer novice, they can get a little bit of a learned opinion, a ridiculous opinion, and the average Joe Average drinker opinion. So, Mike, why don't you turn on that light there that I forgot about completely? There's a switch right there. Yeah, there we go. That helps a little bit. So, okay, we started with Matt the last time. So, Mike, why don't you go first this time?
Well, I could smell the beer as you were talking, so
I didn't take a shower. That might have been
that was very, very aromatic.
Actually, I know what this is, but I haven't had it yet.
And again, another. We were talking about fruits in Hawaii. This smells like passion fruit to me. Much less sour, and this I like. It's got a bit of a bite at first, but that's kind of what I like in my beers. I don't like watery, no flavor beers. This has got a lot of flavor.
Gotcha.
The smell is much different than the taste.
Yeah. Have at it. Yeah, I'll go last.
Okay, this is an opaque beer. Can't see through it at all, even held up against these lights.
Yeah. We're basically blinding ourselves for your pleasure, so I hope we look good. I mean, I know I don't, but that's another
we can
story.
hope.
I've been told I have a face for radio, so take that for what you will.
Thin head, a lot of, as he said, fruity on the nose, like citrus, guava, maybe a little bit of pineapple, but a thick mouthfeel, right? Some bitterness on the tongue. This is. I don't know if this is what it is, but I would categorize this in that New England style IPA. Like, I hate the word, but juicy IPA. Has a lot of mouthfeel. But it goes really well with that hop flavor, that fruity hop flavor on the tongue.
This is right up my alley as far as what I like. These are the kind of beers that I like to drink. This is, and I guess, I mean, I'll let you guys say what you say. I'm not even going to pile anything on top of it. Oh wait, you guys, Cousin Vinny, what are your thoughts?
Hold on, let me grab Cousin Vinny over here.
I like it. It's a little hoppy and the whole deal. I'm not really one for a really bitter kind of beer deal, but it's definitely refreshing. I'd say more so than the first one. It's got a little more of the happiness feel to it.
And if you didn't see the first one was a Modern Times Gosa, Blood Orange and Hibiscus Gosa that Cousin Vinny is comparing it to. Cameraman Mike, what's the deal?
Well, cameraman Mike apparently has a different opinion than everybody else because I do not like this one. This is a little bit the taste itself is good. Actually, and the taste is all right. It's the aftertaste that's just killing me. Every time I take a little swig of it, the aftertaste makes me want to go have anything else to drink. So, not a big fan of this one.
Okay, and so then what?
Apparently, I'm against everyone else on this one.
And on the heels of what he says, I would offer that if you were out tasting beer, probably the beer tender would tell you this is something that is more for, I think, the craft beer enthusiast. I don't think this is an entry-level beer that you would spring on somebody. What this is, drum roll please, this is a Devil's Triangle IPA from Mikkeller Brewing in Miramar. This is one of their, and if you don't know, they're doing a thing right now where they are releasing in cans every Saturday. They have a brand new beer that they're doing limited runs on, and this Devil's Triangle is a Nelson hopped IPA that, and I forget the stats. I should have brought the can. In fact, I'm going to go get the can. You guys chew the fat a minute. Let me go grab the cans and talk about it.
So it's interesting that we all have such a different opinion of the different
I
beers.
see what
Yeah,
you're
I wanna
saying
make
about the aftertaste though.
Yeah, it's to me because I'm out drinking with someone and hopefully there's a female there or something, and the last thing I do after drinking this is talk to her. Because oh my God, I'm sorry I can't talk to you because I've got it covered my mouth. It's not a great approach line.
So, just for the record, this is the Modern Times Fruitlands that we had. Mike, why don't you get in on this real quick?
That was the first beer.
This was the first beer that we had. You got that? And one of the cool things about Modern Times is they have a lot of cool information on the back here. You see the little circles. And what's odd to me, one of them is the SRM red number 8. And that's basically the standard reference measurement for color. And they're the only people that I know that puts that on a beer bottle, and I'm not sure why.
That's pretty standard in the beer judging world. So if your beer's entered at GABF or if you're a home brewer and you enter in a BJCP competition, SRM's going to come into because every beer has to fit in a style category.
Okay,
and
so
some of the things like SRM, IBUs, ABV, decide what category that beer goes in. So it should fit in within those guidelines, and they're going to judge the beer on that.
Okay, well that's good to know. I was already familiar with ABV, IBU. Just about everybody puts that on their beer or on their tap list in the brewery, but I didn't. Modern Times is the only person that I've seen, or people I should say, or brewery, that puts that right on the bottle, the SRM. So while we're at it, IBU on this is 15, so very low bitterness. Final gravity was 1.005, and this is 4.8% ABV, which is alcohol by volume.
So as far as the low IBUs on that, just a little background on that. For sour beers, they're gonna have a low IBUs. They have to put some hops in a beer to make it considered beer. Mm-hmm. But hops are an antimicrobial. So if that hop level gets above a certain level, IBUs get above a certain level, it's going to start killing off some of that bacteria or causing them to grow slower. So you won't get some of that acidity and stuff you're looking for in a sour beer.
Nice.
Interesting.
You know what? I did not know this guy, but he is already an asset
he's
because he knows more about beer than anybody sitting here.
He's the expert on
He
that.
is the expert.
Nice.
And now, while we're at it, I don't know where you guys are with your beers, but there is a little bit of this Fruitlands left.
I'll
So,
take that
Mike, cameraman Mike, if
Does
you
anybody
want
else
that.
want any of this?
I'm
Oh,
good.
thank you.
No one else wants it? Okay, there's just a little left. So
I
we're drinking it real fast.
didn't tell you to come over in front of the camera. I
Drink
just
it.
said you could drink the beer.
Pretty
So
okay.
why don't you
Like
go
I said,
drink it
once
back
again.
there? Oh, man. So anyway, now up to the current edition. Here is your Devil's Triangle. And instead of hugging that bottle, why don't you get on this can?
Yeah.
Hugging that bomber. And what's kind of cool about what Mikkeller is doing with these, they just have a whole bunch of these unmarked cans, and they just slap a different label on them every week with whatever they're coming out with. And so a lot of these beers are really awesome. So this is Devil's Triangle. It's a collaboration with Alpine and Arts District Brewing, which I'm not familiar with them. They are, I don't believe, local to San Diego. How about Specials? I heard of them.
Recognized art district. I mean, Alpine for sure.
Alpine for sure, yeah.
Rye Indian Pale
With Nelson hops.
With Nelson hops. Yeah. Just looking at the beer when you poured it, New England style IPAs are kind of a hit, at least on the East Coast. They get a lot of flack in the rest of the country because they are opaque, and
Yeah.
The
opaque
hazy thing, yep.
is not an appetizing look
Right.
to a lot of beer drinkers. So it can be off-putting at first. This one's not bad at all, especially if I hope that the opaqueness is coming from oats or wheat or something like that rather than yeast, or we're gonna have a bad night.
Well,
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Now, because this is supposed to be informative, why would that be bad? Explain. I honestly don't know.
Well,
I don't think anyone else does either. So
yeah, so
feel free
explain,
to take it
explain
back.
away. Why is that a
For-
bad thing?
for those of us who have drank homebrew, if you have a lot of yeast floating in your beer, which can cause opaqueness like this, and as I said, there are other things that can cause opaqueness. New England style IPAs are known for having this. It's supposed to give more of a mouthfeel, and a lot of breweries do that with wheat or with oats, or they'll even do a trick sometimes where they'll sprinkle flour on top of the mash or the beer, just to give it more protein, to give it some of this. But if you were at a brewery that maybe wasn't putting out the highest quality beer, or you're drinking homebrew and you're getting the bottom of the bottle, you're going to consume a bunch of yeast. Your digestive system's probably not used to that, so you'll get what some
yeast
people like
infection?
to call the beer shits. So yeah,
I'm sorry, can we get that phrase again?
the beer shits is
The beer
the
shits,
technical
okay.
term. Yeah.
It's the name of my new
Technical
group.
term.
Beer shits.
Use your restroom.
Well, I will say this. I certainly don't have the technical know-how, but I do know the people at Mikkeller, and I seriously doubt, I think the haziness was probably intended, and I seriously doubt it's a yeast
Oh yeah,
thing.
I don't think it is either.
Because those guys are just, I mean, they're on
You
top
pick
of
up
their
more
stuff.
astringency, and you get some of that flavor too. No, I think this was planned in that New England style IPA.
Yeah, this is 7% ABV, which is alcohol by volume, and there is no other information on here other than it is a collaboration with Alpine, which if you're a San Diego craft beer drinker, you very well aware who Alpine is. And Arts District Brewing, who, we'll have to look that one up because I'm not familiar with them.
If you live in San Diego, you should be drinking only craft beers. We have the best.
We live in a beer mecca.
There's no
absolutely.
reason to be, unless you're absolutely poor and can, but even then, I can't see drinking macro stuff, even
Right.
if it's cheap. It just,
We have an abundance of.
that would be
Awesome
blasphemous
breweries.
here in San Diego, so. Okay, well, cheers. That is Devil's Triangle. That's it for the Tuesday edition. Thanks to Matt. Thanks to Mike, cameraman Mike, cousin Vinny, and we'll have the stats on this beer. Actually, you can't get this beer anymore, so maybe they'll bring it back at some point. But yeah, these are one of the one-off specials that they're doing. I think it was pretty well received, so at some point it may come back, but right now you can't have this beer. So cheers. We'll see you next time.
I wanted to make one more comment to.
No, you can't. I'm sorry.
Shut you down,
on cameraman Mike's comment on that he wasn't a big fan of this beer. I think that's important to let your bartender know. Let your bartender know what you like and what you don't like about a beer. As I said, we live in a beer mecca, right? They're going to have IPAs. They're going to have Hefeweizens. They're going to have Dunkelweisses. They're going to find a beer that works for you if you let them know what you don't like. There's no wrong taste in beer. I might taste pineapple, and you might not taste that at all, but everybody's palate's different, so let your bartender know.
Good call.
Thanks.
Okay, are we done now? Now can I sign off?
All right. Okay, you can cut out anything.
No, none of this will be edited.
Anybody want the rest of that?
Yeah, bring it over. Because you're a lightweight.
That's
But
the
well,
way
and
it
it's like I
tastes.
said, this is not by
actually
any
like the
means an
smell,
entry
which is
level.
interesting.
It's not an entry level beer. This is.
I like the smell. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna like this. And as soon as I drank it, I went, ooh, I don't like this. Those are good.
All right, so
The reason there's lots of different ones, right?